Good governance for public bodies involves them having in place systems and procedures to ensure that they're well operated and well managed, and that they act in compliance with legislation and regulations. In assessing whether public bodies have such systems and structures in place, they can ask themselves three questions in relation to their governance. The first question that public bodies can ask themselves is, are they acting in compliance with their governing statute? Typically, a public sector body will be established under a statute which will provide for its functions, its duties, and its powers. It will also provide for governance structures, things such as the composition of the board of directors, provision for the chairperson of the board, the chief executive officer. It will also provide rules around meetings, books of account, audit, and so forth. In making decisions and in taking actions, public sector bodies must act within the confines of their governing statute. They must act within their statutory powers. If they were not to do so, it could be said that they were acting ultra vires, or acting beyond the scope of their powers. If that were the case, it would leave them open to a potential action for judicial review, where the courts would examine their actions and their decisions and whether they were legal or valid. The second question that public sector bodies can ask themselves is whether they're acting in full compliance with the vast body of legislation which is applicable to all public sector bodies. So that would involve consideration of legislation such as the Freedom of Information Act, GDPR and data protection, ethics in public office legislation, official languages legislation, also general employment legislation and procurement legislation. The third question which a public sector body can ask itself is whether they are in full compliance with the Code of Practice for the Governance of State Bodies. That's a 2016 publication from DEEPR. It essentially sets out best practice for the governance of public bodies. It's a very good practical guide for public bodies, and it provides them with template documents which they can use. That code of practice operates on the principle of comply or explain. That is, public bodies are expected to comply with the code of practice, or if they depart from the code of practice, then they're obliged to explain why they do so. So in summary, the three essential questions which public bodies should ask themselves in relation to their governance are, one, are they acting in compliance with their governing statute? Are they remaining within the confines of their statutory powers? Two, are they in compliance with the vast body of legislation which is applicable to public sector bodies? And then three, are they in compliance with the Code of Practice for the Governance of State Bodies? In assessing whether they are in compliance with all of those three essentials, public bodies could carry out an audit or a review of their systems and practices and see whether they tick all of the boxes in relation to those three essentials.